You're with Chris at HDpiano, and this is Good Day by 21 Pilots. 1, 2, 3, 4. So in this first video, I want to cover the main riff that you hear throughout the verses, and we'll learn the pre-chorus as well. And at HDpiano.com, we'll learn the entire song, even including the bridge, with lots of nice piano. And I hope you join me there for the full lesson if you're not already there at HDpiano.com. We're going to start out by just learning the basics of this chord progression, one chord at a time. And there's just a very constant note happening in the left hand throughout all of this, G. That is kind of the driving note behind this entire song, these staccato, which means bouncy and light, G's in the left hand. The chord in my right hand might change, but the G's keep on trucking. So let's learn these right hand chords that we're going between. G, B, and D together gives us a G major triad, and we are in the key of G major with 1 sharp, F sharp right here, and that is the key for this entire song. So familiarize yourself with that G major scale if you don't know it already, and that'll give us that G major triad that we start with. Now you'll see that I just split up the G triad into 2 parts, the bottom note G and the top 2 notes B and D, and that is the secret formula behind this riff. You play the chord and then separate the bottom note and the top 2 notes into 2 parts. And then you move to your next chord. In this case, G, C sharp, and E is next. And then we're going to do the same thing. We're going to split up this chord into the bottom and then into the top 2 notes. And then for the third chord, I'm literally just changing 1 note. Just bringing this C sharp down to C natural. And that also gets split up, bottom note, top 2 notes. Back home to G major, where the riff began. So we do that really slowly with the left hand. Split it up. Lower that C sharp to C. Back home to G. This bass line right there at the end of the phrase, G, G, D, E, G, E, G. To me, this song is sort of a Motown feel. It also reminds me of Vulfpeck a bit. And this is a classic example of that sound, starting on the root G, and going down to the 5, D, and the 6, E. Classic oldie sound of using the 5 and the 6 next to each other. So we put that with the chord progression in the right hand. 1, 2, and 3, and 4, and 1. And then you're back to where you started. You just repeat that riff twice at the very beginning. And let's figure out the rhythm of these chords as well. So we have very constant quarter notes in the left hand, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. We're in a 4/4 time signature. 144 quarter notes per minute is our tempo. And the chords fall in the cracks or the ands between these quarter notes. 1, 2, 3, and 4, and 1, 2, 3, and 4, and 1, 2, 3, and 4, and. So when you split up that chord, that always comes on the and of 3, and this will come on 4, and the next new chord will come on the and of 4. 1, 2, 3, and 4, and 1, 2, 3, and 4, and 1, 2, 3, and 4, and 1, 2. Bass line. Let's speed it up. And then we're in into the first verse. Which has a very, very simple bass line with just the left hand. At first, there's no right hand in the original recording. So we start on G, 4 of those, then to A for 4 counts, then to D for 4. And that is the same bass line that we just learned in the intro. Then you repeat that one more time. This time, the right hand is going to come back in with a slightly different version of what we just learned in the main riff. So the right hand here starts the same way. So right there is where the changes begin. Instead of going to G once again, right here, we're going to move our thumb in the right hand up to A. And then this chord right here, instead of having E on top like we did earlier, we have D on top. Okay, so here's your first shape. Split that up. A, C sharp, E, to G, C, and D. And then split that shape up. G, C, and D together now. And then you're back home on G major, just like before. Okay, let's do that really slowly with the left hand one more time. 1, 2, 3, and 4, and here's that new A, D on top. And there you have it. That is the end of verse 1. All right, so now let's get into that pre-chorus, which is a very simple chord progression that repeats the same thing twice. So we just have in the left hand octaves starting on C, going down to B, and down to A. C, B, A. The rhythm is 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. And my upper octave right here in my thumb is going to go on 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. So playing all the ands in my thumb for this held out chord. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. You to spend, you can say you depend on the weather. That's where that lyric comes in the recording. The second time is the same, just leave out that last and a 4, because then you're headed into a chorus, which we'll cover in the next section. Let's learn these right hand chords. G, C, and E in my right hand starts it out. Then I'm going to move home to G, B, and D, our G major triad, just moving the upper voices, the upper 2, down to B and D. Then I go back up to C and E for the third chord. But my left hand is changing, right? C to B to A. So that gives this second repetition of G, C, and E a different sound with A in the bass. Repeat those ands. I'm all right. And then you have right on beat 4, that second time, A, C in the right hand. I'm all right. A, C. And that's going to lead you into a G major triad for the start of your chorus. Now I want to do a full playthrough of the main riff through this first pre-chorus, and then I will see you at HDpiano.com for the rest of the lesson. Thanks so much for learning this awesome 21 Pilots smash with me. I'm going to smash it out from the top, starting with the main riff. 1, 2, 3, 4. Keep it nice and bouncy. first one with just the left hand. Add a back in. Variation. And pre-chorus. That is where I want to pause for now. Thank you so much for learning this first section of Good Day with me, and I will see you in the next section. My name is Chris with HDpiano. Thank you for learning with me. All right, great job making it this far. If you're already at HDpiano.com, go ahead and click on the next video, and if you're not, head on over there to keep learning the rest of the song. In the meantime, stay in touch with us on social media. On YouTube, drop a comment, like, and subscribe. If you have song ideas, send them to requests.hdpiano.com. My name is Chris with HDpiano, and I'll see you around.